to use these to see if it's working. It is working. Why do I wear sunglasses? I don't know, to be cool. I wear them on my bicycle. I remember a guy, he wasn't really a close friend. I knew him in high school, but it was, not that long ago. Oh, you wear it to look cool. I'm just like, wow, I didn't say anything negative to you, man. I don't know why you're judging me. If I'm on a little bicycle up against all these cars, I mean, it's kind of scary. Maybe it makes me feel a little braver. Or I think when John Lennon was killed, Yoko said she wore big sunglasses for a while for protection, just psychic, emotional protection. That may be part of it too. We're a disconnected group in the world. We run around so much. Our lives are scattered. Our families are scattered. Our friends, at least here after high school, scatter. It's lonely. Uh, COVID brought that out even more. And as I said in the previous video podcast, became pretty popular because you got to listen to somebody, another human being, another voice. So even if they weren't very smart and said a bunch of ignorant things and conspiracies, at least they're talking to you. So you learn to hate good people like Dr. Fauci, who fought diseases for decades. You learn to hate people like him from people who have done nothing for our community, done nothing to help eradicate diseases. That's your insanity of our media, of our internet podcasts, billionaires owning everything, and we're just nodding our heads, going, yeah, 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 acting like monopolies and billionaires owning all your sources of information. They talk about the swamp and the left wing and you've got to understand it's the right wing. It's the billionaires who want tax cuts and that are Republican. I mean, come on, at least admit that. Who did Elon Musk give $280 million to? Trump, the Republican, who will give tax cuts to the wealthy. Where's most of the dark money and the super PACs? Where do they get their money? From right-wing Republicans, the billionaires. But they understand how to use the poor Republicans, talking about trans and abortion and immigrants and get them fired up. But the first thing that's going to happen is tax cuts for the rich. It's kind of loud, isn't it? I think it's 1 o'clock. Oh, that's a half hour. Okay. 12:30, 1:30. I'm not sure. But just enjoying this, enjoying the day. It's probably 55, not too much wind. It's supposed to start raining later, rain all day tomorrow, maybe off and on. Global warming. It'll be 60 degrees on Christmas Day in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's probably 15 or 20 degrees warmer than usual, although it's the new usual. When they talk about this is a 100-year flood, no, it's not. It's global warming. That flood's going to happen every 20 or 30 years. We want to keep our heads in the sand about global warming. We don't think we can deal with it. And that's a terrible thing. That's a terrible thing. You see a problem, you see a challenge that you have to face, and instead you run away. That is terrible. It's going to give the future generations bigger problems. going to give this holy planet bigger problems. A mass extinction that we're helping create. Global warming helping create this mass extinction that's never happened before, created by human beings. And we can cry and say it wasn't us. It's been happening over 100 years, and that's true. It's been gradually getting worse and worse, and now there's so many people on the planet and so much burning going on with coal and gas and oil that it's the record. It's the record number of people and the record number of global warming gases. Methane too. We love to eat meat, which takes a lot of water, a lot of resources, creates a lot of methane. I like meat, but we need to move away from eating so much. We can mix our meat with soybeans and other proteins. Hemp is a superfood. Omega-3, omega-6, complete amino acids. I used to run the bulk department at the co-op. I know hemp. I know walnuts have omega-3. We have to grow up. We have to become good citizens. You might say, he keeps repeating himself. I read this quote. This guy was talking about Socrates. And the guy goes, a contemporary of Socrates might have been asked, this guy says the same thing over and over. And this guy goes, but if you asked him, he would say, these are the only things worth talking about. And I can relate to that. Global warming and inequality, the concentration of wealth, poverty. We talk about those first. Those should come first. They're the biggest issues. Feed, clothe, house the people. That's a basic issue. You can't get into trans lives or abortion or guns before you deal with those. Or you can, but that's our problem because that's what you're led down this line so people get the tax cuts they want. I guess millions and millions of dollars were spent on this ad about trans kids because of a law that Biden and Harris inherited for Trump. The same thing happened with Trump. He didn't change the law, but he exploited it and just showed, look. And if you have the money to advertise, which the rich people do, what do you think you're going to see? What do you think your information's going to be? It's going to be bullshit. Global warming is destroying this planet and livelihoods and killing people. Inequality is destroying humanity, equality, democracy. Did we talk about that during this election? No. We're too stupid. We've been taught to be stupid. We reap what was sown. And you can say, I didn't sow that. Well, you ate it up. You didn't stand up against it. Luckily, with the internet, we can have sources of information from different places. It's hard to find, the best ones. I know that. I'm sorry for that. But if you think NBC, CBS, ABC, PBS, you think CNN, MSNBC, you think they're the enemy? The enemy is mammon. The enemy is love of money. We don't talk about that. Concentrated wealth. They asked Trump about raising taxes on the rich. You probably saw this, or you should have. Oh, no. Don't raise taxes on the rich. That's not going to... We need to cut programs for the poor. Yeah, that's who we wanted. This Christian nation. Christian. Sell all your things and give the money to the poor. That's Christian, isn't it? Don't love money. Turn away from money. That's Christian. Well, I don't see much of that here. It's sad. This is my country, my home. I want it to be good. And I think we are good right here, most of us. But we're not very good citizens. And that gets in the way. And that creates hell on earth for a lot of people. You can watch your football and go shopping. There's a lot of people living a life of hell on earth only because that's what we've created, promoted, and continue to fund and promote. Too sad, beyond words.